Very picky tasting. OP.
Rule number 1 says host error, coach is talking to Facebook. Everything must be easy. And also challenging and fun at the same time. It makes it so tricky. That's what makes it tricky. I'm tricky, like a trick. So, what are we talking about? Right. Everything must be easy all the time. Constantly easy. That's the problem with things that are not easy, is that they aren't easy enough, you know? Trying to make them easier. Is that a little bit better to turn up the volume and make it a little bit louder? Do you really want to squirt me? Do you really want to make me wet?
It's a very good question. Not a lot of people like to be
Squirted
and wet.
You know, one of the most useful things a person can shout in many different contexts is squirt them with the hose.
That's a good one to shout out.
Yo, you should squirt them with the hose.
Oh my gosh. May I compliment you on your well-rested
Appearance?
Yeah.
Thanks. You may. Let's see if this is working. Hard to say. I'd say no. It's not. No,
it's not.
All right, there it is. There's my test schmest. Okay, well, maybe it's working, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm twerking, maybe I'm hot. It's working, says Legends Fall.
Thank you, Legends Fall.
You have once again seen the legend of it not working fall. And I, for one, am appreciative of that. Okay, so today we're talking about things that are easy and how to make things easier and how important it is that everything be constantly easy.
That's a really good topic.
Thanks. Because you know what's not easy? Things that are hard. That's no fun. Things that are hard, you know.
I think there should be less objects in space. That way, intuitars can live a little easier.
Yeah. How many INFPs are borderline? Most of them, or just a few? I would guess probably no higher percentage than other types, because at the end of the day, it's about whether or not you were subject to abuse as a kid. Now, it may be the case. It may be the case that INFPs, being more sensitive in some regards, are more likely to take what somebody else would see as normal range of stuff and feel as though they're being abused. That's possible, but I don't really think so.
I don't think so either, because so far we know of an ISFJ, and I know of an INTJ.
Yeah, I also know an INFP, but that doesn't mean it's just one of several.
Right.
Know, you know?
So I think that's more of a.
I don't think it's a type thing, but yeah, and the other thing is this: I don't think it's a matter of INFPs are going to be more likely to be respond as though they are abused because they're more likely to interpret behavior as abusive. I don't buy that argument, because I think it's a pretty clear, bright line. It may not be one that can be established externally as an objective thing, but it's pretty clear, bright line as to the motivation of the person dealing with you and whether or not they actually care about you and are prioritizing you and stuff. It's like if some behavior is either abusive or it isn't, you know? And if it's not, then people won't act as though it is. I'd like to think. So
Yeah.
I don't think that sensitivity turns what's fundamentally not abusive behavior into abusive behavior. It is possible that, I mean, it's even to be expected that different people do face abuse will respond to it differently. That an ENTP will respond to abuse differently than, say, an INFP. But I mean, I think to be borderline, you need to lack any adult who really loves you and cares for you. So if you have one, you can always turn to, and is there on your side, and they are in your corner, then you'll be okay. As long as that adult has sufficient authority to save you when need be or whatever.
Yeah. What's again? I forget. It's a personality disorder, not a mental illness.
Right. Well, I mean, it's called a personality disorder. I'd call it a behavioral disorder,
Okay.
really.
Yeah.
It
It
is
is more behavioral.
it is called a personality disorder, but that's a weird thing to say because, well, I mean, first of all, it dooms them to being unable to fix it because, after all, personality is something that's with you for the whole of your life. And second of all, it implies that they were that personality before they suffered the trauma, which I don't think is the case.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking about how when you were talking to my mom, and she was so much like, but people can change, but that's what changes over time, doesn't it? And we were both like, no, like that's just something you're born with.
I probably should have given your mom a more concrete analogy. It's like you take a rotary engine car and a regular engine car. They both change their performance over the course of their lives, but neither changes the other kind of engine.
Right. It's perfect. Yeah. Well, she listens, so I should hear that advice. But
Of course, right-handed, left-handed is a good analogy as well. You feel the basic behavior of a person never changes no matter how much meditation or medication? Well, the basic behavior. I mean, it depends how you define basic behavior, I guess. But yeah, more or less, I agree with you. That people are the same as they're always the same. My dad's the same. But it doesn't mean that in individual instances, specific bits of learning can't dramatically change the way people interact with each other. So it's like, is my dad ever going to be anybody but my dad? No. But my interactions with him can be very different based on some pieces of information. So from a practical, personal perspective, I guess you'd say that the aspects of personality that are unchangeable are unchangeable, but it's also the case that two people of whatever personalities can interact more or less successfully. And part of that has to do with metacognition. So, I think a lot about typology and stuff. I note things about my dad all the time that I link to maybe NI-polar or something. For example, he's got this weird thing where with commercials, he thinks that if there's a football player in a commercial, like he was talking the other day, he was surprised to learn that the dog in the State Farm commercial that features Aaron Rodgers is not actually Aaron Rodgers' dog. That it's an actor dog. And then yesterday or the other day, I was watching football with him, and he said, I guess that must be his actual wife, in regards to another commercial where a football player was talking to his wife or something. And I just thought, why do you guess that? Why guess that of all things? What makes you think it's likely to be his actual wife?
Yeah. so funny.
Well, it appears to be his wife in the commercial. Does it stop working? Is it still working?
There's this song by LCD Sound System, and it's called "I Can Change." And basically, the song is about a time when him and his wife were struggling, and he was talking about how couples fight, and the tensions between them and stuff, and how the word like "I can change" is so like almost pathetic, because it's like that's like such a desperate. I've actually like literally said that to someone before, and I remember like thinking like, oh my god, I sound so desperate. Like,
right.
So things should be constantly easy.
I haven't said that really in a. Hello. Hi. Yeah, I'm home. Okay, cool. Thank you. No, I didn't look at the ballots. I saw I went 2-1. Okay. Okay, well, yeah, let's just talk about it. I'll talk to him about his last round. I'm not sure what happened, but you know, um, yeah, sure. Oh, sure. It says time is fine. I'm busy this afternoon from like 4 to 5, but other than that, my day is free. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Okay, cool. What happened? Oh, I don't care. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I was happy. I was happy when you canceled it because I wasn't feeling like it. So that's good. hmm Yeah. Right. Do you know what he got on it? So, but okay. So when are you gonna know when he got what he got on it?
I don't know. But I mean, like for saying like this, like one thing, but the ones the teacher told him that it takes her 45 minutes to grade one.
That woman's nuts, man. That woman is
So
nuts.
I know she's crazy.
Yeah.
But she does make him work extremely hard.
Well, I
I've never
mean, yeah, I guess you could say that.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's to the better. That's the problem.
Well, you make him work hard because you're not satisfied with, his natural native efforts, but isn't not necessarily a whole shit ton of stuff she's assigning,
Right, but no, I mean, I don't know. He can The thing is, he just naturally doesn't want to do everything to the level that he could.
He doesn't understand what the purpose of it is. It's purposeless stuff. It's purely instrumental. It's just so he can get a good grade, and ENTPs countervalue utilitarianism, and the only reason to prioritize it are utilitarian reasons.
Right, I know. Yes, but of course, just to put it bluntly, I want him to go to a okay school. If it's not the best, but okay.
Like PCC, you mean?
Well, I think if he's using the amount of energy he's using, then that would be PCC.
Okay. Well, I think I don't. Okay, I get what you're saying. I understand that he ultimately does need and will benefit from good TE guidance, and so it's important to be instrumental in our behaviors, I suppose, to a certain extent. But it's also important to remember the extent to which a given thing becomes diminishing returns in terms of time and effort put into it and benefit gained.
Right. Yes, I know what you mean. Yes. Okay. So.
So just text me or call me later or whatever.
Okay. So right before my husband gets there, I'll just text you.
All right. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Thanks.
That's my client. I was chatting with her on the phone while you guys were sitting here, wondering what's Eric doing? Why isn't he talking to us? Well, imagine living in a world where everything is hard. That's your world, David Sanderson. David Sanderson, listen, you make it hard by having goals. Okay? That's what makes it difficult for you because you have goals and desired outcomes. That's what makes it difficult. If you don't have desired outcomes, then everything's easy.
Damn, we're even taught that we're supposed to have desired outcomes.
Wow.
I mean, in first grade, they're asking you what you want to be, what you want to grow up as.
And I remember even in middle school getting assemblies where a guy comes in and talks about setting up your goals and having a good goal orientation and stuff. And it's talk about ontological violence. Can you please get your utility away from me? It stinks.
Yeah. That's a perfect way to say it.
Beanbag chairs or fleecy blankets. That would be a terrible world. Indeed, Legends Fall. I especially miss the fleecy blankets.
Yeah, beanbag chairs, I didn't like sitting in them. I used to like doing flips into them.
Yeah, I can do without the beanbag chairs. Yeah. But the fleecy blankets, no. You have to have, you got to have some fleece in your blanket game or else you just, if you want your blanket game on point, you got to include some fleece. We don't really have our blanket game on point, I guess.
No, we don't. It's okay.
We're underachieving in blanketage.
Yeah. Speaking of, it's the first day of winter.
Happy first day of winter, everybody. It's winter time. Isn't that nice?
It is nice.
I feel so like that, frustrated with pent up frustrations and just ick.
Now, do you think it's because it started that way, or it's in the air?
I don't know, man.
I feel kind of ick too. I mean, I think I'm gonna try and go to sleep later so that I wake up later. It's so hard.
This is being broadcast in stereo. What am I frustrated about? It's a good question, David Sanderson. I'm going to tell you the answer to it right now. You're going to be so excited to hear the answer. You're going to be like, damn, Eric's giving us all the answers today. I frustrated about? Well, the famous music, I mean. The famous movie words say, what have you got? No, don't change. You stay put. Yeah. All right. So the question is, what am I frustrated about? I'm very frustrated about everything that's sad. I'm very frustrated about stuff that makes me mad. Things that are slow and dull, things that don't make me fall in love with them immediately are bad. I'm so frustrated by everything that doesn't come about so easily for me, or difficult, or hard to do, or anything that's difficult at all. Yes, I'm so frustrated by the song, 'cause all I can do is go along just like this and never accomplish anything. I'm frustrated, can't you see when I sing that I'm frustrated? If that's in ignoring, then you are busy snoring, and I'm okay with that, I guess. If it's in ignoring, then I will be some touring, and I'll bring me a mess. I don't have any reason to not be frustrated today. Certainly, this song won't make my frustration go away, considering how terrible it is. Yeah, that's why I'm frustrated, you see. Doing terribly terrible things frustrates me. Being always sucky at when I sing frustrates me. I only want to be impossibly good. So when everybody hears me singing a song, they go, you should play some more songs. You see why I'm so frustrated, right? You can see.
Doesn't Captain Barberu say that 7 or like 478 is the most frustrated type?
Does she say that? Catherine Pulver says that 847's the most frustrated type. I agree with her assessment of me. There's little bit more frustrating than very jazzy stuff. When jazzing jazz and jazzy jazz and jazz enough, you'll frustrate you, you'll frustrate them, you'll frustrate all around. 'Cause jazzy jazz is jazzing time, and that makes you a clown. You see, you can see why I'm frustrated. You can see. It's not that difficult to tell why. It's because of the nonstop, endless insufferable failure. That's probably why. Oh, failure, jazzy as can be. Oh, failure, so familiar to me. Oh, failure, in jazzy tones, you're jazzing all around the jazzing zone. So that concludes today's symposium on failure. I've demonstrated multiple ways to fail today, and I hope you were all taking notes. You can see failing is not just a one-track course here. A real failure can fail in lots and lots of different ways.
Can we list some of those ways, just for reference?
Well, I just gave you several good examples of failure. I could point to this live stream as a whole, probably.
Oh my gosh!
As a good, strong example of sort of persisting in failure over the course of 26 odd minutes, you know.
I think some people would disagree.
Genexia would make the claim, and it's a reasonable TI claim, that one can't fail if one doesn't have any goals. And yet I have just proved otherwise. So there you go.
There you go.
It reminds me of that song I wrote one time called Boo Failure Boo. Boo failure, boo, boo failure, boo failure, I know you are not very popular. It is indeed a song. That's true. Okay. I guess if the monkey dance is entertaining, then it's not up to the monkey to decide whether it's worth anything. A fair enough point.
That is a very fair enough point. Who said that?
Genexial. Well, he didn't say exactly that. I inferred it from his more narrowly construed comment. How did the debate judging go yesterday? It was It was kind of dull.
I forgot that was yesterday.
It was dull like Paul in the Hall. What could be duller than that? Paul in the Hall? Nothing's so dull. Why don't you do type police shows? Ugh. I mean,
Who
things
suggested
require.
that?
I mean, I get it. Like, but it requires motivation. That's
Like,
the whole title of this is trying to say everything has
should
to
be
always be
easy.
easy.
Yes, everything has to be easy.
I'm already 3/4 covered in yeah. You're trying to cover me the rest of the way up in yeah? That's not a very nice thing to do.
No.
Look at my face. Look what you made it do. Is this what you were going for? This is what you did.
It's so squishy.
It is so squishy. Rachel, would you mind taking over the captain's chair for a moment while I go inside? Go to the bathroom.
Oh, nature calls.
Yeah, I think so.
Hi, everyone. It's been a little bit since I have seen all y'all. If everything has to be easy, does that mean the presidency is off? Honestly, I don't think it's going to be off. I don't know. We were listening to some, I guess you could say, country music artists this morning, and I was thinking about how, like, if they can get labels, like, I'm going to sound so metaphysical here, but I think
we limit ourselves a lot with our own thinking. And president being a president for Eric would be very easy. He's like very knowledgeable when it comes to policy. So, hi TinyMan66, thank you. But I used to think everything should be easy. And when I was in relationships with other people in the past, I would think to myself, this should be easier. This should be easier. And the reason it wasn't easy was because we weren't right for each other. Like it felt like work. It really did. Not to say that people shouldn't put in efforts when it comes to their relationship, but I do think to some degree it's pretty easy. Like the one relationship that I could look to that was very successful when I was in New York was my Aunt Sherry and Uncle Tom. They always had a very easy relationship with each other. Not that they weren't difficult people or whatever, like not that they weren't like the easiest for everyone, but they were easy for each other, and life was very easy for them because they very rarely fought. Life quotes, you're right. You were attracted to Eric because he has so much knowledge. He can handle your personality. It's true. My personality is not easy to deal with. Although INFJs make very good relationship partners because, or I can say, just speaking for myself, I like to consider myself to be a good relationship partner because I do not like to nag. I don't like nagging because it makes me feel terrible. It's not in my nature to be like, on this and, Tyrant6 says, it's so much dependent on how healthy we are. Yes. I mean, okay, so like before meeting Eric, I had been dating a lot. I'd say I was on the dating scene for like 8 years or something, with gaps in between for when I was single, because there was a time where I was just like, yo, I'm dating way too much. I need to just chill for a little bit and like love myself first and then like go out and date again. But in general, I wasn't really able to be myself because I was living at home with my parents, and living under their roof, they had rules that I didn't agree with. So one of them was smoking pot, and I enjoy it very much. It makes me feel myself. They didn't know how long I've been smoking weed for. They thought it was more of a newer thing. So they like were against me smoking it. And so I was like in programs and stuff to get me over this like weed problem. And so like I really feel like I was in like bad relationships because like I wasn't being true to myself. So I really do think that how healthy we are does make a difference in whether or not we're making like good decisions for ourselves. Life quote says, I feel nothing is permanent. Relationships are also temporary. Some are short-term, some are long-term. One day relation has to break. Do you agree? See, I've never really been in a very long-term relationship before where it's been this easy. So, like, I'm really liking where we're at right now. It's so hard for me to even think about an ending. See, I'm also I do study Enneagram and that sort of thing, and I am SX, which means sexual type. And what that means is that for pretty much my whole life, I'm looking for like one other person that I can just do everything with. And I didn't have that a lot in my romantic relationships, but I did have that in like romantic relationships. I do think that, of course, everything has an end, but I'm looking for like long term now. I've definitely been through a lot of short term, non easy relationships. So I'm looking for something long term and stable now. And that's what Eric is offering, which is amazing. But I do agree that, like every relationship is there for a reason. Rachel, did you catch contact the Rona? I don't think I have a cold. I am so tired right now. Kitty, I do have the sniffles. And I am tired because Kitty woke both me and Eric up early. And I was sleeping in the bedroom and she came in like super early. And like for me, like once I'm up, I'm up. So yeah, so life quotes, I totally get that. That I resonate with it a lot. I feel very long-term relationship can be there, but after a lot of compromises, there have been in a few 3-4 years our honeymoon period, and then it's just compromise and boring. Okay, so life quotes. I do agree with you on the honeymoon phase being from 3 to 4 years. My longest relationship was 4 years. We were together for 4 years and we had plans on getting married, but I refused to be engaged while still long distance. A lot of our relationship was long distance. So I was like, if we're talking about engagement, I want to move in together. And then we moved in and it was like not easy at all. In fact, I found myself compromising a lot of who I am in that relationship. And so though it was like not healthy and very difficult, it was a lesson in that I needed to be in a relationship with a person who like really loves me for me, not this like idea of me. Rachel, I've lost touch with my intuition probably because of huge stress and I feel extremely stupid. And I want to know if you've experienced this. I have. That I have. I do. Actually, I feel a pretty low intuition today. 10 a.m. 6 because if I'm low on sleep, usually my intuition's a little bit off as well. Or if I have the mias, or if I'm sick, I do have the sniffles. But so yeah, I've been there. So it'll come back. It will come back, but you have to be patient with yourself, which is for me the most difficult thing.
Everyone is susceptible to periodic gas.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
I just pooped again.
You did?
Yeah, quite a bit more poop. I already pooped a lot this morning, so I must have a lot of extra poop in me.
That's good.
Feels good to get it out of me.
Oh, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you're a new person.
It's not healthy to retain too much poop in your body.
No, it's not.
Or else you'll get excessive poop retention syndrome, which is a disease that happens when you have excessive poop retention. Yeah, double mics.
Eric has the sniffles too a little bit. Or just itchy nose.
How does my coffee taste today? It tastes good.
Did you make any?
I made a pot last night. Not even zipped. Well, these pants are a little too small for me. I'm zipped. I'm just not buttoned. Because if I were to button, I'd be constricted.
Ooh, that's not fun.
No.
Does a belt help?
No, this is fine. Can you toss me the weed?
Ooh, sorry, I wasn't
That's
wanting
okay.
that to be a rocket.
That's fine. I have seen INFP, INFJ want to feel very special in relationships, which doesn't happen in our reality 90% of the time. So our relations fall down very fast, you agree? I mean, I know that question is directed towards Rachel, but I don't think INFJ necessarily needs to feel very special in a relationship. I think they need to, at least this INFJ needs to not feel, policed.
Yeah. And can I just compliment that, like, you make me feel loved and wanted. Like, I don't feel like you're like, first of all, we're with each other all the time. But even then, even when we like go out, like, I feel like you respect me, and that is like so huge in my book. I don't need to be made feel special. I need to be respected. Like, I really can't stand when like guys are with other girls and they're with their girlfriend and they like check out like other girls. Not that that doesn't happen, but just that it shouldn't happen a lot. There's a sense of respect that Eric gives me that is part of what makes our relationship very easy.
Yeah. Mutual respect is important, but the thing is, feeling special in a relationship, I mean, it's a weird thing to say because a relationship to me is a two-person team where each partner has picked the other person as their one teammate. So it's like there's no, they want to feel included, not special. I could do a better job perhaps of including Rachel in the various things I do. I know I was saying earlier this morning how I really want to get a song of mine down where she sings it, the main vocals, and we record it and do a video of it, because it's a better way to get people to listen to my music, because, for lots of reasons.
And I was thinking when I came in this morning that I can't wait to make music with you.
So I mean, we should do that in a little bit. Try to decide like which song of mine do you feel most comfortable singing, like in your range. You take over the vocals on, and we try to do like a live take of it. Like. That was a good bong rip. Bottles and cans, and just clap your hands, Where it's at. I got 2 turntables and a microphone. Do I think the Illuminati is some sort of thing? I mean, I think it's a hoax played by the Discordians on history. I find the Discordians a particularly evil sect of extroverted intuitors. But I understand why they did what they did at the time, because everybody was taking meaning too seriously, and so they thought, well, let's make up some shit. But they didn't know that someday I was gonna have to sit here and explain to people, no, that's bullshit, because they take it seriously, you know. But that's wife and the big gritty. All big people are part of the Illuminati. All big people. What constitutes a big person? Does it have to do with their physical size, or is it some other quality? Let's see here. Small people worship angels and gods. What do large people worship? Tiny Man 66 admits to being an MK Ultra experiment. Randy Fox prefers to be a small person and live with the keyboard elves. Eric, do I think intelligence can be a trap for some people? Well, I guess you want to call it that. I think that creativity and effectiveness don't necessarily go hand in hand. No, I mean, I think that's analysts. Analysts are at risk for that, and ISTPs being an analyst type, that makes sense. They would think that analysts are those who have a metaphysical function first, then a physical function. So you're looking at your ISTPs, your ESFJs, your INTJs, and your ENFPs. Those types are likely to feel that way because they're not meta-analysts. And in fact, analysts have a tendency to get obsessed with their method of analysis, namely whether it's empirics, usually empirics, but and neglect to do the necessary meta-analysis. So it's true for them. You'd like to introduce me to Johnny O? Who is Johnny O? I don't see any Johnny O. Are they here in the chat? I don't see anybody named Johnny O or Angry INFJ. Oh, there you are. Hi, angry INFJ. What are you so angry about? Are you angry about how do I rate Frank James's knowledge on typology out of 10? 6 or 7.
Yeah, me too.
He's
good about.
He's pretty knowledgeable.
I think he's really good when it comes to talking about INFJs. I think he's a really good reference for people who want to know what a true INFJ cognitively goes through. But I don't think he's really good at typing.
I mean, when he says stuff about typology, I rarely think that's wrong, but occasionally I do. But he doesn't really say a whole lot about typology, so.
But I think I find myself tripping a little bit when it comes, the more that I work with you and the more that I learn about the functions and study it, I can type better. But anytime that I don't work on it, then I start to question my typing.
I've got live chat enabled. Now I see them. The other types, there's meta-analysts are metaphysical. Analysts are metaphysical. Executives are metaphysical, and executors are physical. So executives include ESTP, ENTJ, INFP, and ISFJ. Those are your executives. Now you might think INFP and ISFJ, well, they're executives in their respective domains, So obviously ISFJ is the executive of the dinner party, kind of, but ENTJ is the executive of the corporation. ESTP, the executive of some business of some sort, The analyst types also, you might go, well, analysts? I mean, ESFJ is an analyst? Yeah, they are. They're always analyzing the social stuff for specific purposes, rather than an INFJ who's sort of analyzing it without those purposes, or ISFJ. What's INFJ? INFJ is not an executive. INFJ is a meta-analyst like ENTP. ENTP, INFJ, ENFJ, and INTP are the meta-analyst types. That means everything is for understanding purposes only. Everything is always for educational purposes. There's no actual utility to anything. So.
Your dad's back, by the way.
Yeah, I know. He is back. I was thinking about different things to do today. Do you have any thoughts?
Yes, I do actually. It's gorgeous out. I think we should take pictures.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. We should go somewhere to do that. I wonder where we should go to do that.
it's nice to see your face back online. Your physical form back online.
Probably the bell ringer.
Good.
You saw all of his published work on Amazon for close to 500 euros. Who are you talking about? Jung? That's too much money for Jung's published work.
Yeah.
Santa Fe Dam. You know, I wouldn't mind if we dressed more with proper shoes and stuff. Maybe going back and looking at Vasquez Rocks again, because I feel like we didn't really get much into it. We got there late last time, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
But we don't have to do that if you don't want.
No, that sounds great.
Okay, cool.
That's where those rocks that look like Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put my boots on.
All right. Yeah, I think it's called Vasquez Rocks. It's they took the rocks for the Lion King. They derived them from that place. If you Google it, it's really nice. It's still in LA County, but it's not. It's like there's not graffiti and shit there, and I don't know. It's a nice spot, good for picture taking, and who knows what else. All right, so let's go do that then.
Yeah.
All right, goodbye, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for being here.